was telling my story, I felt joy in my mind. I want to achieve more things in my future. I want to be a good journalist as I finished my education.
And the people that have been together the last 2 days. So a big thank you.
I'm excited to be out here in Malawi and just see the reality of what is possible in working with children, volunteers, and other partners in our community in terms of just gathering stories that are meaningful to their own reality and the experiences that they have, the struggles, challenges, and opportunities that they see for developing their own communities. What I'm particularly excited about is just the reality of how scalable some of these interventions and initiatives that we have been learning over FY14 and the reality that we can actually put cameras into the hands of volunteers and children and they are able to articulate the reality of their own situation.
This morning we're interacting with children and introducing one of the storyteller tools called the Day and Night tool. And using this tool, the children from Malawi in one of the ADPs. I think this is a strategic way of engaging children, but also looking at how we have strategically moved from the past to present and to the future. We are seeing more of the communicator in World Vision being a facilitator and not the person who's just writing the story. So
then how did I overcome this challenge? My mother, that is motivates me even to do better and to even overcome more challenges. Could I let anything come, I can overcome it because of what I went through here.
We are going through a process whereby we are trying to work with the children on how best they can develop stories and also how best they can capture videos and some basic photos highlighting some of the issues that are happening in their communities. So the team together with the children, we have had time to go through a number of activities. We had games just to make sure that we are able to engage with the children. Also as a means of establishing the rapport. And again, there are some of the resources that the team has brought. These are story maps, trying to show the kids on how best they can develop the stories, and following on the same on how best maybe if we are including issues to do with emotions. Yeah, so those are the tools that they've brought.
Oh, what
let's say you're drawing like a house, so that we will go to a house and we will video the house. Do you know what I mean? Yes. So that it will, all of these 5 will create a story once it's become.
I think it really empowered them to be good storytellers, and I cannot even imagine their faces if they see the final product of the video. So this is a great way of, like engaging with the community, especially with the children. And I think we really need to do this more and more, and it is very powerful.
Introduced to tell a story.
Children are playing football, others are playing fish, and others are playing acrobatic.
He's saying, where are those?
Here.
He's seeing children playing, others are playing what?
Acrobatic and football, and also fish.
So what you have in your stories, who can tell me the start of some of those stories that we heard?
When I started school.
Okay, so when you started school, in fact, there were several stories about starting school.
Wow!
And this is the beginning of our story, and this is a rich family, and it is a poor family. This family has sent their children, 2 children, to herd the goats. This picture. And now this picture tells us the awareness campaign to the community that then those children had this awareness campaign helps these children to go back to school. This is a symbol of the school.
Looking at that, you're thinking, what do I need in my camera? Do I want all of the person, all of Lindewi, or just her eyes and the glasses? You know.
There's a lot of stories that children can tell, and I can see how they are confident in speaking, and when they see pictures, it reminds them of experiences that they have had in the past. And so I think this is an important part of amplifying the voices of children and allowing children to speak out for a better life.
Okay, so in the future, I hope to encourage my friends never to give up, especially if they don't have textbooks, but to continue with their education. And in the future, I also want to become a nurse.
Okay.
That was a Siniwane of Amos' family, and it have got 9 children. They had sent 2 children to act as the headmen. That was Amos' family. They have got 9 children, and they are all poor.
I attend to listen to the story. I am in this story. I was the interviewer for asking his friends different questions about his story.
There are children not to go to school rather than being employed, so that maybe the family of Amos can be well in such financial.
These are children, and they are doing awareness campaign to encourage every children to go to school.
In these last 3 days, it has been amazing to see the potential that this meeting and this interaction with the communities has in terms of change, in terms of process, in terms of the way we do the things in the field, but also in terms of interaction between communication, sponsorship, and other staff involved. It has been tremendously an impacting moment to see how we can leverage the potential that is within the children.
But also central to that is the reality of ensuring at each and every moment that child voice and participation remains at the center of what we do. It should never be about just going around extracting stories from our volunteers, communities, and children, but it should be about equipping them with the ability to tell their own stories in ways that could better connects and articulates their situation to their sponsors and other partners outside their community. So it's exciting just to see the possibilities that are out there, and I look forward to FY15 with a bit more hope in terms of scaling out and up some of these promising practices that we have seen.
This was very awesome day. What we have done is really, for a start, honestly, you have achieved what we needed to achieve. And we expect even more tomorrow. Really today, the results are so good. The kids were so cooperative. They were so interactive. They were able to articulate some points. They were able to tell stories, from what they were taught. They were able to develop stories from there. So it was awesome, really amazing.
So this has been a very powerful tool for the children. My Live a Life that we have just gone through also has been very important. It has helped children to open up and tell their stories and bring out issues that we could not manage to bring them out, but because of that too they were able to bring issues out, and it was very exciting to them, it was fun to them, so I believe that the training was really a success. Thank you.
I was very happy for you to be here, and when I was explaining my story, when I was telling my story, I felt joy in my mind.
These kids are so persistent.